Nicholas II ascended the throne after the death of his father, Alexander III, on October 20th, 1894, and was crowned on May 14th, 1896. Nicholas thought Russia should not scramble for colonial needs, so he encouraged Russian expansion in Manchuria, Japan. The expansion angered Japan and war broke out in 1904. Russia was soon defeated. When Russia was defeated by Japan, Russians started strikes and riots. Crowds demanded radical reforms in St. Petersburg, and Nicholas was forced to have constitution and make parliament, the Duma. Nicholas's changes were only limited. He changed the voting laws to prevent anyone from opposing him. However, the Duma did not change much and didn't give the middle class a voice in government. In 1914, World War I temporarily strengthened the monarchy since Russia allied to France and Britain against Austria, Hungary, and Germany. In mid-1915, Nicholas, along with his dominant wife Alexandra of Hesse, made a mindless decision to take charge of the Russian armies. From then on, Nicholas was the problem for each military failure. The basic cause of the February Revolution of 1917 was the bad economic condition of Russia, which made it difficult to assist the war effort against strong Germany. Russian industry, however, lacked the accommodation to arm, equip, and supply 15 million men who were sent into the war.
Russian factories were barely productive, and the railroad network was weak. Mobilizations disorganized industrial and agricultural production. The food supply decreased, and the transportation system became disrupted. In the war, the soldiers went hungry, and repeatedly lacked shoes or ammo, sometimes even weapons. Russian catastrophes were greater than the ones sustained by any army in the war. The government received aid in the war from voluntary committees. The rising breakdown of supply, made worse by the nearly complete blockade of Russia from its pre-war markets, was affected especially in the major cities, which was filled with refugees. The February Revolution of 1917 grew out of a mounting wave of food and wage strikes in Petrograd, that is now St. Petersburg. On February 23, rallies in which demanded for bread were held. It was supported by 90,000 men and women. Tension increased, but no disaster resulted. On February 26, Petrograd troops were called out to restrain the uprising. When the workers and soldiers came out together in the streets, the workers tried to mix in with the soldiers. In some of these encounters, the troops were demanded to fire, killing a number of workers. On February 27, the revolution celebrated. After the regime, the Petrograds went over to the people. Within a day, the entire Soviet of 150,000 men joined the revolution